Welcome to the set. This is the final coffee with Ken for 2021.
Yes.
I am Ken Brown, the CEO of Destiny Global. And I have my two wonderful guests with me today, are Dr. April Brown and Miss Juanita Yancey. Woo! Straight to Texas from Chicago. She wasn't from here originally, but she got here as fast as she could, and we're so glad that you're here.
I'm so thankful to be here. Thanks for having me on the show.
Well, it's wonderful to have you, and you too.
Thank you.
It is 2021 has been a year for the record books in many ways. A lot of learning lessons have come through this year, and I want to just pause and reflect back. And for those of you that don't know, Juanita is one of our coaches as well. Gifted in many ways and was already coaching before she came to us, and we just helped her enhance some of those skills.
Absolutely.
But I wanted to just pause for a minute and reflect back and say, hey, talk to me about 2021 and what happened in your life. And Juanita, we'll start with you.
It was a big year. It was a great year. I went full-time into my coaching business. After I became certified with Destiny Global, I felt I had confidence and tools, and I started, enhancing my business with group coaching. And so I quit my job in the summer, and then by the fall, I was moving to Texas. So it was a big year. I would say a year ago, I prayed for where I'm at right now. So it's a whole new area to plot and protect these sprouts.
Yeah. Wow.
Moving in faith.
Those are some big steps.
Yeah.
Those aren't sprouts. Those are trees.
That's true.
Those are and you're successful at what you're doing.
Amen.
And in fact, she was in Kerrville, and I didn't even know she had moved to Texas. And then I hear, oh, she's here, staying in Hunt, Texas.
I love it. I love the country. I was born for Texas. I don't know how it took so long to get here, but I'm a Texan at heart.
Well, that's beautiful. Well, we welcome you.
Thank you.
That's right.
Happy to be here.
That's right. Well, welcome. So, what gave you? You used a word in which you were talking about. A word said confidence. Where did you get the confidence that you're talking about?
I would say, obviously, training of Destiny Global. The past few years, I've been in the community, but doing the coaching program really did give me the confidence. I mean, not that you have to be certified to coach. I had clients before, but it just helped me have a structure to see a bigger picture, to see an alignment to a brand that I knew changed my life. So I think even just those little nuggets that I was aligned with the organization helped me move forward with a message. And honestly, there was resources, right? Like going to First Steps events and getting clients, and the trainers of Destiny Global were fantastic, and the Facebook groups. I mean, there's just been so much, I feel, that kind of helped the momentum build for my business.
Wow. I love that momentum.
That is
Momentum
a good word.
is so important.
Amen.
So just feeling that, and the confidence comes from that, seeing that momentum is what I hear you saying.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Wow.
Yep. And just stepping on faith, too. And also, too, I saw coaches in the program that were coaching. So even I think the network of people that had gotten results from the training or were doing it before, just being around coaches that had different experiences, created the community that really also helped me, I think, see what I could do or how it can be done differently than I was already doing it.
So what I hear in that also is that you're talking to people.
Yes.
Like, that's so important. People think that they don't think about that, of the networking and how important that can be, of talking to people, seeing what's working for them, and just feeding off of that.
Yes,
So
absolutely.
that's good.
I'm naturally inquisitive, so I feel it helps as a coach, but applying it in a business perspective, I was really hungry to learn. So from the trainers and from other coaches here and leadership, that's just kind of my personality that fits with what I'm doing.
Yeah.
It's a gift.
That's awesome.
It is. Well, when you think back to 2021, it's kind of a whirlwind. Just
Yeah.
I know it's hard to believe this, but Danny retired in April of this
I
year,
know.
and
Isn't
it
that
feels
crazy?
because
It feels-
of everything going on in the world. It feels like forever ago. That was only in April, and where the company is moving to, and the goals that we've worked with, and getting the coaching program, which was so important, but really strengthening the community. and getting people an opportunity to share and really what's going on in your lives and plugging in, and of course keeping First Steps going regardless if it's in person or virtually, so we continue the learning. Learning is what it's about, regardless of where you're located, but it's really pushing forward, and you can still get confidence right where you're sitting.
Yes, you can.
Yeah, that's right.
And with people. I would
Yeah.
say the community of DJC is just like, or Destiny Global, and, you know, the future is the best, one of the best. It is the best.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
These people are great.
And I think even if
Yay.
you're doing it, it's hard moving to virtual, but I think the watch parties, I'm seeing like people, even a smaller group, to actually interact even more. And we saw this last coaching training that happened with a smaller group of you just get so much more interaction with people
Right.
than the big events that we've had. So there's positive to it. It's just you have to look for it. And
You do.
You do.
yeah.
I feel social media has been leveraged really well with the community from Destiny Global side and the coaches and people just being really supportive on comments and cheering you on, like sharing, you know, your wins. So I have found there has been a lot of value in the community just from being online when I can like check in or see coffees with Ken, you know, and you see people doing stuff. So if you like want positive, like, you know, you can find it for sure.
Right.
Yeah, that's great. That's really good. So for me, I think you were going to ask me. So for me, 2021 has been, I mean, thinking back to last December, we didn't even know like at all the coaching program was about. That
Right,
first part of
that's true.
December,
It's true.
end of November, first part of December was when we were first starting to see even a coaching program start to come, and I didn't have an idea of being a part of that in any way. I was kind of doing my own thing and just kind of consulting here and there with Leanne and
A lot of
some
free
of the
consulting
people.
because I would ask her
I
questions.
know, just
Because she
asking
was
me
already certified in
questions.
2 different programs.
So yeah,
Yeah.
I'd already had training in 2 different coaching and had my counseling background. So kind of really giving the difference between counseling and coaching. And that's something that's really good about our program is really being able to support people on that side of when there's deeper issues, but also just being able to help people understand the differences between coaching and counseling. So that's been kind of my role, just even in consulting in the beginning. And then it really just I started really getting a passion about it.
You're
and
kidding.
you saw a passion in me, and I think Leanne saw that passion and was
And
just
Amy as well,
Yeah,
yes.
Amy, and so the trainers, and it just kind of evolved from there into January. And so like literally it was the 1st of January that I started to think of
Right.
it as even going to be a part of the program. And now to have 3 training, well, 4 at least, 4 or 5. We've had international training and
Yeah.
we've had, anyway, so 5 training events that we've been a part of to train coaches in 2021. So plus First Steps,
First Steps
plus
and a Dynasty. And Jackie and
Like,
Carmen, you know, pouring in
Yes.
and doing. And thank you too very much for all that you've done in 2021. You guys are amazing and constantly pouring into people. You know, and they're very successful in their own practices as well, but joining me at events and speaking and offering their services to continue to help people move forward. They just could not have done it without you.
Yeah, but that just literally makes me think about who knows where we'll be next year. Like thinking
Very
of
true.
where you were, thinking where I was this time last year, had no idea like where I would be. So it's literally when you're just taking those steps and looking at your life, looking at your goals, having a vision, like really starting to focus in on that vision and how taking steps towards what you want to do. It's just, there's no telling where we will be next year. And even through COVID and all this stuff, who would have thought that we would still be moving forward like we are? So
Right. Well, and just getting past the Christmas season and then looking to, again, this is the last Coffee with Kim for 2021, and thinking about the new year and planning. And, you know, I just recorded a session on planning in a little different light, but really talking about the power of words and what it means, what the word accomplish means, what the word achieve means, what the word action means. And, when you talk about someone, you say that they've accomplished, like you speak of. So Juanita is an accomplished coach. That means she's done something.
As results.
It's results. And that's what I'm so pleased about you as our community, is looking at people building wealth, some of them having to switch their whole jobs, their whole ambitions, everything behind it, and making some pretty big pivots, both of you in this room included, and even the staff at DJC and things that we had to do, but the community, for you to stick with us and to really press in and learn, and we will continue to pour into you in 2022, and just as you're pouring back into us. And I want to say thank you for that. The encouragements, the notes, the comments, they're not lost. And some days they're hard, because things aren't as what we expected. Right? It's very difficult to do if we're primarily just an in-person event company, and hotels don't cooperate so well anymore. You still have a business model. Destiny Global still has a business model. You have to over 300 people in an event to really make the company work, and it becomes very difficult when hotels don't want to cooperate with that, or you got to be 16 feet apart and taped up like a mummy. That's not the funnest thing for me, and especially us, because we're freedom fighters, man. We want to be free and do our thing. But the reality is that we can do that together with where we're at, and actually grow and strengthen our communities where we're located and pull people together. And so thank you for mentioning watch parties and the things about it, and just the growth of it. But really, when I think of 2021, I think of it really is about personal growth. And there's no better examples than the two sitting to my left. And there's so many of you that have done this. You've really, it's something that I'm going to use the word a lot of in 2022, and it's partnering, where you're partnered with you for success. And I'm going to be sharing some visions at the next Coffee with Ken for the new year, because I got some tricks up my sleeve, some pretty big ones. Some big ones, because I want us to get better equipped in some areas and just really focus in. And we're going to be focused. A lot of the key messages are going to be around money, because as I'm really studying God's word and studying and pouring into and preparing and taking my own solitude, we can impact more people with more that we have. Absolutely. But it's not just about making money. It's about taking care of others around us. And it's also keeping the money you have. And everything that we continue to teach on circulates around that one area. But it's so important, because we want to attract more people like you that can have the results in their lives. And if you're watching for the first time, I invite you to become a part of our community. Go to Destiny Global, click follow, click like, and and we invite you to, we're having a First Steps in January. This is going to be knock dead, crazy, awesome.
The first one of 2022. I just think to help you propel you forward, to be at that first steps to success for January is so crucial. If you have goals, you have things you want to achieve, for that year, and you need someone to walk with you, hold you accountable, help you, support you to achieve those, that first steps is so important.
It is right. And thank you for that, because it really helped us. We had started off in February at First Steps, not January, but February. And
I tried to get them to that January one.
It was in California, and couldn't work that out. But the minute they said they're doing it in Frisco. Oh my gosh! And so the next thing they were there.
15 minutes from our house. Yeah, it's he couldn't argue with that, right?
Well, it was a training, and it was presented, but it was a lot more than a training. And it's one of the best decisions I've ever made, because it plugged us into a community and people that are now going to be my lifelong friends, my lifelong associates, and I get to partner with you to help all of us bring around success and help other people become successful. And when we do that, we change everything. One person at a time, we change the world, as we're headed together to change 100 million lives by 2035.
Woo.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I'm glad she's on our team.
I'm really glad you're on the team.
I'm happy to be here.
And thank you for coming in and joining us today and just sharing a little bit of your story.
Thank
it's so
you.
wonderful.
It was so fun to do it. And just one more note about your financial goal, because I'll say, even going into the coaching program, typically with our Destiny Global training, a lot of the War on Debt teaching was so important for me. So typically before I would like be in debt by the end of every year, like with my credit card, and then I wait for my bonus to pay it off. And that was very normal for my group to do that. And so after applying, obviously we're in debt. This past year's bonus, I just had money. Like I didn't have any debt. So I got to invest it in the coaching program, which in turn affects so many more lives. Not only am I happier and able to do what I want with my life, my time freedom, and my dreams, but I'm helping people. So just that principle was so profound to me. Like that stewardship of us does complete, like totally go future and make a better seed, and we're happier and you help more people. So
Yeah, that's
ready.
an amazing testimony. I
I'll be
love that.
leaning into the financial tips from Ken Brown next year.
Well, they're going to be deep and wide, and there's going to be some other experts that join us as well.
Cool. I'm excited.
So I am super excited about where we're headed, and thank you guys for joining Coffee with Ken, and we want to wish you all
Yes.
a happy, New
New
Year.
Year.
See you in 2022.